And actually, they ended up paying the price.
Very much so. Now let's see though for Riddle. They got Novo, and well, for looting purposes, it worked out for them. But will they go back up to the sort of a safe haven in Severny, where they have approximately like 3 square kilometers all to themselves, or will they go on down south? Looks like they are opted to go back up north. And speaking of Novo, I was just thinking, how about a military circle for these guys?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Just because, I mean, we had one of them in Group A. I believe we only had one, right? That's the one where Meet Jamaica's, they did good.
I'm trying to think, did it end on military?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. I'm pretty sure it did. But nonetheless, I just to rattle things up a bit, because now we've had all these open endings so many times. Now we've had so many open endings. Let's just throw it down to military, change things up a bit. Maybe go into quarry, go down to lumber mill, something like that to sort of change things up again. And for all it's worth, maybe even a city ending too. Just because all these teams, they've been forced out into rough situations already in Circle 2 or 3, and let's make it rough for everyone, not just for some.
Let's have a crazy one, all right? Let's go all the way up, all the way across. We'll wait and see how it all goes down as that circle will be popping ever so shortly. Riddle have found themselves the vehicles. Now they'll start to work their way back up to Severny. They'll get themselves, and we are going pretty much dead center.
Wow.
This is going to be a good one for sure. Everyone's got a good opportunity to get within it. There's a fair few teams that are straight away in the center as well, and you can expect them to pop off ever so early.
This is where a lot of teams get a chance to say, well, the very first game yesterday, we did something we shouldn't have done. We all went down to the compound south of Potato, which meant that when the circle shifted back up towards Apps, we got completely melted down because there were way too many teams down here for us to really make our way on through. Only Sook did not come out of it alive. That's why they got so many kills that game. They wouldn't end up winning it, but they did manage to get into a good spot with a lot of kills. But for Riddle, they won that game. And I'm interested to see if they can sort of play the same style. Sure, now we don't know whether it's going to go down to the exact same spot again. But if it does go south of the water, which is to be expected, how is Riddle going to sort of play around with knowing we had a win here yesterday, now we can do it again? Because they had a rough game the previous one.
Yeah.
Can they bounce back?
And that was it, right? Positioning ended up working out for them when all the teams gambled down south. Could it be a change around this time? We'll wait and see. 3D Max getting their spots as per usual in South Georgia Bowl. No problems at all for them. No early firefights to be had. They're always just looking over and waving to Seacorp and saying, hey guys, yep, you cool,
Yeah.
we're cool, no problem. You go this way, we'll go that way. And they can both nicely get into that circle. It's not going to be a difficult mode for them. It's more about the bridge crossing options than which way Seacorp want to take it. And if they will actually run into Riddle early on at all.
Yeah, I mean, odds are that they won't. Of course, it's going to depend on where the next circle goes, but it's going to be interesting to see how Seacorp will rotate on out. Same thing, actually, to be said for Northern Light here. They're on the south, they're on Military Island as the only team this time around, so they shouldn't really have any confrontations. They lost 2 players to Riddle, but that's also got to be in the back of your head, right? Wait, so there were teams when we weren't expecting it.
Oh,
now
yes.
we got to have those alarms. I mean, they've got to be up. Maybe they're going to spend too much time playing it safe. I mean, rather safe than sorry, sure, but you can also end up in situations where you kind of trip yourself over because you spent an excessive amount of time on something that's technically not that necessary to spend time on.
And that's it, right? The mind games start to come into play.
Yeah.
You can even mind game yourself out.
Exactly.
Okay, we saw this happen. Are they going to go for it again? And that's where, actually, some of the teams that are on another level here are the ones that go in for the information plays, right? We've seen it on multiple occasions. Scouts coming out and, okay, let's have a look around here. Let's pick. But the problem is a scout also has to be very cautious they don't get picked off. You can't be making too much noise. You've got to get in, get out, and pass that information on and say, look, we can go here. This should be clear. We can try and take this compound. We can't edge our way forward. We've got to just take more map control.
Yeah, very true, very true. Now, the plane was somewhat south, and with the trajectory of the plane, I would assume that they must know that there weren't anyone going to, because you can see those parachutes from pretty far away, and they must have seen that there's no one flying down towards it. But, I mean, if they are unsure, have one guy jump out a little later. Have him pop the parachute a little earlier, just to get the reconnaissance, and then he can fly back towards his teammates. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. You have military to yourself anyway. It's not like you're not going to get the loot that you want. But so, if you're unsure, if you don't feel safe with it, just do that. But I would expect them to go west. Now, we have had Gamer Legion park on that bridge one time, where then nobody came across. But they know for a fact that 2 teams on the eastern side. One is in Farm, one is in Milta. And, well, technically, there's a bigger chance that one of those 2 teams will stay than Gamers Legion doing it.
Yes, yeah. And Gamer Legion, right? We've got to talk about them. 2 games now where rough placements. You were right at the top. You've now started to slip back down. And this is how kind of unrelenting this can be in terms of kills coming off. As we see 3D Max already looking to start some early engagements here. They've pushed their way right into the circle, got them over towards Ruins, and they're going to find Fenerbahce, but can they get any kills here? Hidrick putting on the aggression, putting on the push. He's making sure his presence is known, and he's saying, hey, you step away from me for now.
Some might say the only thing he didn't put on were the handbrakes, because you saw that buggy flying on down the hill just before. I mean, I know these guys, they rarely, that's normally not a mistake you see people make, so something for sure must have changed. It just looks so funny when you see a guy like sitting, I got my back covered, and then he turns around, wait, where's my car? Where's my car? Oh, that is hilarious. For us, not for the players, of course. It's super annoying because that as well can change up, like when can they rotate, how can they rotate, all these sort of things. But the circle has started closing on in. As we said, the Northern Knight guys, they would make their way over towards the western side of things and did manage to get on through without any damage done, at least so far.
Yeah, these rotations have come in really fast and heavy here. Everyone's making their way across. We've still got 64 alive, surprisingly, as we hit the 6-minute mark. Riddle, no problem yet. They're still in Zaverny. They're only just starting their rotation down south. But that's because they know they've just got complete, clear road ahead of them, at least for now.
Grabbing a buster, they're starting where they stopped in the previous game. They want to shoot, they want to get those kills, they want to accumulate as many points as they can early on to then bring all those points into the late game and hope to gain even more. For now, they are starting to get them back on those rotations. Many teams are coming in from the south down here. Now we're being joined by Rip9, Glutony, and Not Fair as well. They're also making their way down towards the Kill Hill east of Virginia. You see how many teams down there? 4 teams. I guess 3.5 teams with Francario down there as well. Rip forced out of his vehicle. He wants to swap cars. Dangerous to do while you have Francario spraying you down. He does take damage. He's down to low HP, and I'm not seeing him get out of this one alive.
Oh, you've got 7 Esports. They were getting kills across the board. Not just a heavy kills game, but they took that first place of the game previous. And now they're looking to make it even unfair for North.
Gamer Legion trying to see if they can get themselves into a good spot. Bjorn has taken the garage house on the eastern side of Pachinki. Did spot BCG, but looks to me like the buggy did give him enough movement speed that he could make his way further up the hill and get out unscarred.
Buster travel finishes off Rip. Means Not Fair were unable to kind of push their way back into it, and rightly so, just leave them be at the moment because you don't want to walk straight in to that team. 7 be able to do some serious damage there. Melman scoping around, got some information to play off of there as he watches another team just go in front of him. And this is it, right? Where we've already got to this clusters coming in. There's so much space at the north, so much space at the south, and all the way even at the east. It's only the west and center areas that have been completely covered up here.
Vietnam has split each side of Pachinki. Vasco and Page are over on the western side, and Ivel, at least for now, and Eki, they're all by themselves, and the entirety of Fenerbahce has just pulled up in their compound. They need that cavalry in, and they need it right now. Eki and Ivel need to do something to hold these guys off, because seeming, and as looking at how they played last game, they were very aggressive, the Fenerbahce team, and, well, I mean, if they get any sort of idea that there are only 2 guys in this compound, believe me, they will push on it.
Yeah, and that's what they do not want to happen. Zokik Nam went out a little bit earlier than expected. This time around, they know they need to keep it up. They may be good for points now, but teams will quickly catch up. So this time, they need to make sure that they get it early on. Everyone down in the south has just gone rip. It may have happened yesterday for you, lads. You may have got Potato Hill. It may have been a situation where you go, oh, look, we'll take this risk again. But now Riddle's straight back up to the north, and they go, hey, that's us, lads. We'll have that. Thanks very much. Seacork still in a good position. And these 2 teams that will be ones that will be fighting off the rest of the teams as they work their way up. This is one that they never wanted to see.
Oh, you hate and you enjoy it at the same time, right? That's what I'm saying. And I mean, once again, looked at Nam, they had the same thing happen last game where they had to figure, do we really want to take this fight that was with Gamer Legion down in Shelter? Do we want to take this fight or do we want to move? Because right now they have a chance to move, and look at Vasco, always on fire. So far, the kill leader total, and he just added, well, potentially 1 more to the list right there. Great headshot with the K98. Fievel and Eki, they have made their way out of the compound. And you see on the map there as well in the bottom right-hand corner, everybody's trying to rotate. Nobody wants to get stuck on that southern side when the next circle pops. Fievel and Eki, though, they're on the open. 2 guys split with 2 guys on the top. They're trying to get the info. Kalimdor, though, has been rest, but damage is continuously being delivered from Vasco and from Page.
Okay, now completely surrounding them. Nades going in as well. Fenerbahce, they don't have an answer to this. You can see they're kind of like too far away from each other anyway, but they're also almost scared. They're not willing to try and take these fights just yet. They want Zen to come towards them, but that's probably not going to happen. They're in such a good spot here. The only problem that Zokanam do have is they don't want another team to just run bomb by them, and they don't know what's going on just yet.
Very true. Everybody wants to go up towards the water, and for the guys in Tornado Energy Storm, they're not having a great success in doing so. Kompot goes down, and they did lose one more player as well, so Kamka and Mailman is going to be all by themselves. They did kind of get things going last game, but then when that one of those final rotations they had just got completely annihilated. And now early on in this one, they're in trouble. But a team that's starting to look a little better is going to be these Northern Lights guys.
The Northern Lights had a couple of strong games. Can they get some extra kills on the board here? It's only 2 more players left to find of the Tornado Energy team, and they've got a massive advantage to work from here. As you can see on the little game screen on that bottom right-hand corner, Ghost Legion trying to stay alive, trying to res each other up. Those smokes are going down, and they're looking for some cover. The Inside Game team is looking to get some additional kills after a pretty weak game last time around.
If they can get the damage done, they know they have Yellow just over on the other side. Question for him is going to be, does he really want to take the fight against the compound? Sure, they're all inside the circle, but you're all by yourself. They might just want to go back towards your teammates. Tries to make the run-off. Sampeak had a good shot. Headshot connected as well from a teammate right there. But now him being down behind the tree. Oh, he lost him. Where is he? Where is he? The info has to come in. He's behind that tree. He's prone. I saw him go down. Pixel, you see him. He has the angle on him right there. They're just waiting for him to move.
One wrong move and he's going to go down. Yellow Submarine is just hiding away. Shots also coming out, so Inside Games do need to be careful. Don't stand around on that window for too long. Keep moving, keep repositioning yourselves, and just wait for them to poke out. The problem here for Ghost Legion is trying to get him out of this position is going to be oh so difficult. Trejo and Yellow Submarine are just too far away from the rest of them to be saved.
Some might say they might have to be leaving the Yellow Submarine.
They will have to leave the Yellow Submarine all on his own. Watch him go down. I'm loving it.
I know it's not the lyrics, but I tried.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Anything that gives me a bit of British humour in there, I'll take and run away with. But what the other teams won't run away with is where we're going.
You see up on the northern side, 2 of the heavy hitters in this lobby. 7 Esports and Soktetnam once again running into each other. Soktetnam was one of the guys that were taken out by 7 last game. At least a lot of damage was done by them. But this time around, this seems to have a bit of a better position. Edelweiss down low, and the nade comes in as well. But Eki gets finished off in return.
Elderways trying to move away. Zen applying the pressure. 7 know that this is the team they're battling back off against. There's so much good chance here as Zen are just saying, okay, how do we make this work? Because if we can get them down, that's going to give us a bit of a chance to stretch our legs here and get those extra points to work in on the standings. Buster's going to have no problem getting this res off thanks to the smoke that was put down just in time. But Zen, they're not pushing into it just yet. Kravik goes in for the shot, does hit 1, but then gets sprayed back down. Page able to do it. This is looking a little bit scary now for 7.
And there's a team that can deal with 7, it would be Soktetnam, at least the way they've played so far in the tournament. Francario, there are so many trees to look at, so many smokes, and unfortunately for him, not able to spot out Vasco. Buster, all by himself. He has the advice on his eastern side, but not a whole lot he can do either. Right now, it's just all Soktetnam, and down goes 7, despite them winning last game with a solid 18 kills. They could not do anything up against Soktetnam.
And this is the thing, right? We said about 7. They love to go in for these engagements, but they never know when to back away. They didn't have a good position there. They were actually close to the circle. They could have fallen back a bit, used the utility, but instead they saw the kills. They saw which team was and were thinking, well, we are better than you. We want to take it. But this time around, Zen were the ones to get it done. Impressive stuff from Zokik-Nam. And really, you've just got to look at the decision-making. That's what it comes down to.
And also, that's what's coming. You talked about being able to bounce back from the previous game that didn't go that well. Well, if you can kill the 18-kill team right off the bat in the next one, that's a pretty good motivational boost, right?
I'll take it. Right?
I'll take it. That's okay.
Just
that's
casual,
okay.
you know, everyday stuff. Especially for Zokik-Nam.
A team here that also made it quite far in the last game was Oztec Warriors. That's the benefit of the compound. This time around, they're far up on the northern side in the open, but at least for now, they're in all kinds of safety. But as you can see, teams are rotating around them. Soggy on their bike, that's a front flare, but that is a... well, I was gonna say an explosion killing him, but nope. In the end, it actually would be Abo to get the finish out of him. But that's the bikes for you. Sometimes it happens.
But I'm actually finding Sigsy at the same time, so kills across the board as we start to whittle down these numbers. 51 left alive, 15 teams within it. Inside Games just got to get their driving skills completely sorted there. The hills can get a little bit fast, get a little bit rough and rugged for them, as they've got to get themselves now back into the circle. As we're in phase 3, getting towards the end, and this new circle will be popping ever so shortly. The rotations coming in are going to be very interesting, because where are we going to go next? Up potentially towards this hard north.
Should go up there. We want to exclude as much water as possible, and it should be exactly where we are going. Gamer Legion, they knew this, and they've set themselves up shop inside of the gas station. There are only 2 guys alive, though. Actually, no, they're not. They're all 4 guys alive. Sorry, they were just sitting completely on top of each other, so I couldn't see all the logos there.
That is so hard to see as well.
It's true. But for the teams that are down south, it's going to be a tricky push on in. Inside Games, I was just going to compliment them earlier for their rotation. Might just have taken a bit too much time trying to scout their way on forward, losing Pixelic in the process. There are still 3 guys alive, though, on the eastern side of the circle.
And I love that from Oztech Warriors. They held on to that northern area. They had the circle as it came in. As they watched the rotation coming from the other team of Inside Games, they went, okay, we picked off one, and Inside Games just back straight away. And Oztech is still firing off into him. Zampik's also been knocked.
Yep, very, very well done by them. They have a good position up there, and they know for a fact that no one's going to come swooping in from the north. Them up there, those vehicles are only going to grant you so much cover. And the good thing for them is them knowing there's no one north of them.
Yeah.
They don't have anything to worry about. The only team that can shoot back are the teams that they're trying to plow on down right now.
No Inside Games will get Zampik res back up. He'll heal himself up, but they are still pinned down. And Oztech Warriors have a lot of ground ahead of them. This is very good positioning. Very smart play. But Oztech Warriors also do need to be a little bit more cautious, as Zen aren't too far away.
Great headshot from Arsenal. Very talented players here coming out of Saudi Arabia. Not a region that we see represented a whole lot in esports normally, but these guys, they sure are delivering.
They're going to represent their region, represent their country, and try and make this work here. Gamer Legions are coming to the fray, though. We see a few more kills coming out from them.
Dictator, trying to see if he can shoot. Trying to see if he can shoot. Trying to see if he can land the shots. Trying to see if he can land the shots needed up on the guys up here. And this is where this is where the new thing in the game, right? Once you destroy a vehicle, well, it does manage to get him finished off. But once you destroy a vehicle, those wheels get popped. I think for Zampik, they might have been able to pop the wheels on the other side. So that actually might come out to help them more than sort of mess it up for them if they kind of help them get those wheels popped.
Now, the key thing here for Inside Games, you took all that time, you stayed in the same position, you got Zampik back up, but now you lost the rest of your team.
Yeah.
So where's the decision-making behind it, right? You were trying to get him up and play out of it, keep your 3 players alive, but now you spent too much time around there, and Oztech have just continued to fire off onto him. Shot after shot, and it's worked out massively for him. Riddle, though, back in it. Back making it work. They've come all the way down from Severny. They've got themselves this eastern side and a compound to work from. They've got themselves a nice spot to play into here. There's a lot of teams that still got to make their way in.
Sitting in Alamo saying, this is our terrain. This is our home turf. You don't just come into our area and try and make it your own. Well, at least people are trying to. And you see Arsenal once again hitting shots with the Mini 14. He's really getting things done right now. Perfectix trying to run on over. They're trying to hold off Stealth from being able to make that rotation on over the water. And right now it's looking grim. Mallman goes down to the circle, unfortunately, but Cass and Jambaway are making their way over.
Mallman slowly but surely working his way in. Off of Team Stella, trying to make it work. Kaz gave us that lovely game where he ended up in 2nd place, just prone the whole way through. Could they see another chance of it? But Inside Games, they've gone down. Now really want to end off the final player there. For the match, you have to be careful as well. The shots being fired off non-stop here, and Kamka looking to try and land them through the smoke. It's exactly what happens as BSD. He can't stand up for too much longer.
This was them saying, we're not going to get inside the circle. How many kills can we get before we get killed by the blue? And in the end, they would go down. Jambaway cannot find any rest in any sort of situational terrain here. No matter where he goes, teams and people are shooting at him. Now it's Kamka, one of the 2 remaining players for Tornado Energy. He wants to get the knock, but it's actually going to be Deep getting himself a knock off of that. Question is going to be if he's in a position to get the finish off as well.
Now there's so much going on, so many fights taking place. The new circle's popped and Riddle's compound has been taken away from them. They will have to make their way in, and this is a faster circle, right? With just a few seconds left for them to go. The push will start to happen. Gamer Legion have got great positioning now because one of the only few compounds left in it, and they know exactly where Riddle's playing from. Riddle jumping their vehicles, and they're going to go for a rotation up towards the north. There's more shots are going on here from Fosverd, and he's looking to try and take down some of these Northern Lights players. And Northern Lights, they continue to bring their way in, but Tornado comes in with a third party. Everyone's having a pop at them. 3D Max in there as well. It's back and forth galore, and this is not looking good. Kofest once again, just little running away here with Lolwo by the side of him. Higgy's made his way up the hill as well. Can they get away from this? The Deep and Mayacho, they know exactly where they are, but it's this waiting battle. The nades go off. Fosverd able to do some damage, and that's really nice. Great positioning there coming out from Personal Courage. Northern Lights, who have been actually putting themselves up on the leaderboards, up on the scoreboards, game after game here. Had a nice spot, but then they got pinned down. Both sides.
I like to see Personal Courage. They pushed on over. You saw only one's the third party, but someone, I don't know exactly who's they made a call saying, you know what, let's fall back. There's no reason to overaggress over the hill. We'll be exposed to the Wizard Tower. We cannot risk this. So they went back down, waited for them to push on towards them instead, and that's when they got the kills. Very, very smart, like sort of middle of the action communication right there.
And I've got to say, right, the thing I liked about that was Higgy was already going up, while the other two players in Lolwo and Fosverd were just sat there waiting, right? They were taking the fight, so it made them feel like they're still hanging, they're still chilling around there.
You see Phoenix making that push up on towards Soaked and Nama team that's been hard to deal with up until this point. We'll see if they can. There's still 3 guys alive. Soaked actually went down earlier in the fight against 7 Gaming, but now it's going to be Kofest trying to make that run on over, and in the end here, Phoenix making the push on up. 2 guys down immediately. Yes, Vasco once again gets active on the kill feed.
Looking Nam looking to try and make more kills, come onto it, catch up and get some legs running for him. Stretch themselves even further up those standings. Why not? When you can. Bounce back, like you said, right? Always come back from rough games that you've had. There's Riddle. Still finding themselves in a good spot here, looking to do some further damage. They've got to be careful, though, because they can be easily hunted down. Their Gamer Legion have a great spot to work from. Oshtek still getting kills in across the board. That's 6 for them in total now.
I have to say, I don't understand how Seek can constantly find themselves in the remaining compound in a circle.
Smart players.
They're just always there.
And they're still in it.
It's very impressive. They're very much centered, and they're in a very, very good... I mean, it's one yellow one-story house. It's not like the best building in the world, but considering that it's pretty much the only hardcover they'll have remaining in this entire circle, that indeed is very good. 3D Max now making their presence known as they try to push their way on over towards the ridge between these 2 compounds, wanting to get themselves into a good spot. And Riddle on the eastern side, they have to figure out, do we want to push on up into Gamer Legion inside the gas station, or what do we want to do down here?
Yeah, they've got Oshtek up towards the north. Zen over in the west. Riddle know exactly where Gamer Legion are. They don't want to take this challenge just yet. But how do they try and get in here?
Oshtek has left their vehicle, so they have to push up on foot. Soaked it now, they can sit up on the top. I was just going to say this. They can sit up on top and start knocking these people, because they should be visible, and they indeed are. 1 goes down, 2 goes down.
The damage.
They are just a force to be dealt with, and no one seems to be able to do that right now.
That's so nutty as well. The distance, the damage that was being done. We saw it flash on the screen when we were looking elsewhere. 120 stayed off a shot, right? That is not what you want to see. Because the Oshtek Warriors, and he's just like, yep, get out of here. I'm just going to run you over. Never mind, we're done. Why not? You hate to see it. It's one of those things now. We're just going to keep getting it over and over again.
Wow.
As Riddle get eliminated, they tried to push into Gamer Legion. They couldn't make it work. But Oshtek now, they believe they can come into this. Nade's going to be going out there, but there's only 2 players left alive for him. So it's a 2v4. This is going to be oh so difficult for Oshtek to try and make happen.
Eppo? No, I think it was Eppo. Yeah, Eppo tried to get in the car. Run over. There you go. Nice vehicle explosion. Taking out Makan, but they could have been 3 guys pushing. This would be a 3v3 fight now had he not run his teammate over. I don't know if it was one running into the side of the car killing himself, or it was him just kind of turning into him. But mistakes that are unfortunate to see, and to a certain extent unacceptable when you have a chance to make such good plays here.
Now Zokik Nam again towards this end find themselves getting further frags up here. Kills have come in non-stop from them. But now they've got to start to work their way in. They've got to give up their position they had on that high ground. Vasco being the last one in from that team as well, just to ensure that the cover was being had there. Now this is a really nice spot. Look at this position from Dictator.
Yep. Looking underneath the fence right here, and Hamster knows this. Do not want to go out because it's very hard for them to spot the guys. Like they'll be seeing their feet. There you go. All the time of that nade should be on the money spots, though. Should go down and return. Yep, there you go. 1-for-1 trade. So now we have one player remaining. Outlaw up against Bjorn. And the last remaining player inside, it's going to be Humble, but Timber actually goes down. Ness from high up and above gets the knock on towards him, but Bjorn with the hero play secures the day and might just be able to get not but one, but two reses up out here.
The third partying comes into full effect. Very difficult for Game of Legion to deal. The pressure was applied, but they handled it as good as they could. Now, Seacorp know they're going to have to move very soon. That circle is just in front of them, and it's not going to cover off their compound. 3D Max just on the edge trying to make it work as well. Kamka's still in it, though. All alone, solo player, but he's taking shots still. He's engaging.
And look at who's down south.
Are we serious?
Cass. Well, I mean, if they can't win the game by killing people, they might as well just send Cass into a solo situation and get second place. If he gets second place again, if he can get second place again, that would be absolutely insane. Because again, we're at the point where, well, there's no one below us now, right? I mean, 3D Max was sitting at the bottom for so long that they could not be expecting anyone to still come in from the south. But now we'll see if Cass indeed can pull this one off. Kamka all by himself, forced over on the other side of the road, trying to see if he can do some damage towards Hamster. Does manage to get some shots down, but not enough to get in and knocking Cass. To see him up there by the tree. Guys, can you please get this fight over with? I really want to get down inside the circle.
He's like, can you guys hurry up, please? I don't really want to push up. Kaz goes down, though. Stella get eliminated in 6th place. It wasn't meant to be, but he still managed to do some damage with the nade. Kamka now also firing off onto GL. He doesn't want to allow him to come out of this compound without a little bit of a fight ahead of him.
Soktetnam not pushing up on this Ival. You can see he wants to go up and get the info, but not really opted to do the aggressive push. Vasco, though. Why not? I mean, he already had a Khan 98, but then the crate lands on his feet, and it's filled with an AWM level 3 gear. You know what?
Just make it rain, baby. Make it work, and that's exactly what he's doing. Dropping the shots, dropping the headshots. Seacorp push out. Oh, that smoke. Oh, no. What is going on? Furex misses so much. Phantom eliminates himself and his team, but he does also get the knock onto Furex, who should be picked up unless Sokiknam jump into this. 3 teams remain.
And look at this, Ival, 18 bullets remaining. He's been shooting some more throughout this entire game, and now they might just be able to pull themselves up and win here in game number 2 of day 2. Technically game number 3 on today, but you know, we'll like to keep it so it makes sense. 10 kills again, and Ival, no, the circle damage becomes too much for him. It is the first knock, but you see how much it chunks right there. It's going to be hard for him to get rest, and I highly doubt it's going to happen.
Sunzi, I praised him so heavily for his individual ability there, and he misses off some key shots. That was a huge whiff as Ival will go down to this circle. He will allow it to happen. Sunzi completely alone. 2 players left on GL, 2 players left on Zen. This isn't unwinnable, but he has to be oh so cautious. Vasco in this shot, if he can pull this off once again.
I mean, Sunzi had a chance to make this a 1v1v2. Yeah. And he blew it. He would have been able to run up over the top side while Timber had to run in the open. That would be a guaranteed second place at least. But now it's going to be harder. There you go. Fortunately for Vasco, has the level 3 helmet available, and he's saying thank you for that because Hamster just hit a headshot.
Yeah, that was huge. That could have been devastating. Could have given time to get medded up. Use all that good stuff for Sunzi. Just trying to work some sort of an advantage here. Doesn't want to be too far out on the open, but does have the high ground. Can work his way around and potentially sneak in behind the Zen players here. They need to make sure they're continuing to be aware of this, because GL, they're also shooting off, and they're literally playing this like it's just 2 teams left alive. You cannot forget about Sunzi.
As long as they're shooting, Sunzi should not be peeking there. He just has to wait it out, and you see Vasco constantly looking on up. Gotta play it smart. He knows exactly where both these guys are. And this is actually, as I said that before, where Sunzi could take a peek. Page getting the knock with the SKS, and down goes Timber. And now it's Sunzi. You missed your shot just before. Now you have a chance. Can you take out Soktetnam, or will they win this game with a 10+ kill victory?
Sunzi looking for it all alone. They're going to be on the hunt for him, though. This is going to be hard. He gets spotted straight away by Vasco. Now needs to see if he can understand where Page is as well. Gets himself out. Looks to go and try and fire on some shots. Hasn't spotted Page out yet. They've got such a good position here from Zen. Finally sees him. Now he knows where it is. So now he's got a good understanding, at least, of where both players could be behind.
Look at where Page is sitting. In a matter of 5 seconds, Sunzi is going to be in an open hillside walking downhill. He needs to get a headshot now before he has to start rotating.
Yeah, you've got to try and force the circle. Oh, okay, he just gives up. That's it. He's like, I'm not winning this, but I'm not going to give you the kill. I'm going to hold on to it. So they do get another win. Sokiknam in there, and that manages to go in their favor. I'd say another win, actually. So that's their first win.